Yo, this is still Lightning Lab 20. The GoPro's been on since I stopped it. It's been maybe an hour? Yeah, about an hour since I stopped the video earlier. I'm debating if I'm going to put this in, but I went outside to check on the GoPro. There's been some rumbles of thunder, but when I went outside to check on the GoPro, there was a really intense rumble of thunder. And there's conditions over the area. You know, what I like to call conditions. Here, let's look. So there was basically a break after the initial line of storms came through. Alright, look. So here's what it looks like over Houston. But, you know, when I'm talking about tornadoes, and there's been tornadoes like every day since I said that there would be, in accordance with like Yahweh, like if Yahweh is also is pissed off about whatever's going on around me and with Alessandro and Anto and Brojo, whatever the situation is that is making me feel sick and is like feels like a trap or something that people are using to harass me and mess with me, and for some reason the news isn't engaging it. Unless they're my friends, but in any instance, I'd like some kind of resolution to this, and it's hurting me. So I just want some kind of resolution. But there's been tornadoes like every day since I said that, and super destructive tornadoes and stuff. So, but yeah, this is how it looks. This is how the area looks. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna put this in, but since this is like, this is how it looks. So there's some lightning going on, but since I was outside and like next to the camera and then the lightning happened, I just figured like, well, it's probably it was a strong lightning too. So I took it as a sign, is what I'm getting at. The reason the GoPro is still on is I was planning on making a time lapse out of this. Really deep into the muzzle here. But I figure since there seems to be a theme of if conditions are in the area, lightning, you know? Like in previous videos, it's not just the initial line, it's the continuation, like the conditions being in the area and just, again, having faith. But, you know, I don't think I need to show, personally, I don't feel like I need to show a bajillion lightning strikes. I've already done that. So, I'm just not particularly doing anything better currently, and I do enjoy the lightning stuff. Like, it's fun doing this, in my opinion. I mean, like, the lightning lab videos are fun to me. It does feel like a form of science that nobody else is doing. It's like spiritual science or, you know, whatever. But and, you know, I definitely don't put it past Yahweh to show something really cool, because, I mean, there's maybe one in every video, even if it's not, like, even if there's nothing else in the video. But like, there's always at least one notable thing, I feel like, in every lightning lab. Just recently I have not had the time. I've been focused on making, like, kind of working on the music library to make these mixes, so like, another thought here is, like, the reason this is continued is because, like I said, I didn't even turn off the GoPro, so, and I only expect this to really go on for maybe 1 hour more total. And then I think storms will just be out of the area. Not that there can't be storms again very soon, but kind of like what I think my point was and has been is that, like, okay, or at least it seems like this pretty obviously. If I'm doing this and there's very clearly a connection, like you see stuff that you don't see in any other person's videos between me and the weather and the storm activity, and then it's like more localized around me, and there's like hints at if I can affect it around me, I can affect it in other places. Or especially that Yahweh can do it, right? And so, you know, a good example being like what's happened in Brazil. Do I want catastrophe to happen in Brazil? No. I mean, I don't really want catastrophe to happen anywhere. I just think that in order to course correct, because something's trying to steal reality away from, like, my reality away from me, and, like, seemingly that's attached to a whole bunch of other people's realities, inherently being the one conquering at the 7 churches of Asia, like, I do think that, you know, it's like I don't want to see catastrophe, but it seems like something, in order to force whatever the thing is that's causing, like, harassing and distressing me and, like, pissing Yahweh off, in order to bring the, kind of like anger of other people's against it. It's like, hey, you know, if I'm being messed with and I'm like, I think a good way to, like, get other people invested is that they have an interest in it. Like, hey, when you fuck with Matt, it causes catastrophe everywhere, or, you know, in all sorts of other places. Don't fuck with Matt. So I'd expect this stuff that you could see in my videos. And then that you can see in, you know, what's going on in Brazil. I mean, I think that I have a decent record that I can show of like these places that it's also affecting, but I think the Brazil one's really obvious. The thing with Alessandra and Anta Ambrosio kind of like hit a peak catastrophe in their home state in Brazil. Seems like also like, you know, as put stuff in my story and pictures about Lucilda, which is Alessandra's mom, and like I was going to for Aline, who's her sister, and then I was just like, well, I'm gonna start my day, and like I can do it at nighttime, and then I'm sitting watching, like I can do it, you know, when I'm working on it again, on the story and pictures again. Usually I do it at nighttime or when I'm right before I get up in the morning, and I'm sitting there watching a video with my dad, like he's like calibrating the projector because he's in, you know, he's into video like AV stuff, and we're watching this thing of Switzerland, and all of a sudden, like literally 5 signs with the name Align on it and the date 5/17/2023 pop up on the screen. I mean, that seems really obvious, right? That what just happened there. And so maybe something is going on with Align, but that it gave me the, like, hey, I should just, whatever I was going to say about Align, I should do it. So probably I'm going to tag her in this. And, like, you know, very clearly, like, yo, the weather is reacting to me. What has happened with the Ambrosio family that the weather is reacting to me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that it seems like Yahweh is pissed off about something. Jesus' father. So I took it as a sign. Like I was saying about the lightning. I took the lightning as a sign. I took the 5 literal signs as a sign, you know? A line is not a common name. At least not here. So, at least not around me. So the fact that it pops up like that, it's like I know of her, and I know of like one other Brazilian lady, because I looked up, you know, when I went on Instagram looking at or for a line, it popped up. I requested a line and Lucilda, so they're welcome to add me, and we can be friends on Instagram, but or you know, mutual followers on Instagram. But I mean, it definitely seems like something has happened with the Ambrosio family. If they didn't attack me, I mean, let's be friends. But something has attacked me, and I cannot get people to engage that this has happened and that it's happening, and that it's hurting people. I wouldn't have preempted the catastrophe that's been going on, the flooding in Rio Grande do Sul, if I wasn't connected in some kind of way. Like, most weather people that I could see didn't say anything about it, and the fact that I preempted it by at least a week should give you like some kind of hint. Yeah, I think that's a bit more in tune and connected with these things than people that we call experts. And, you know, am I an expert? So why the fuck aren't you listening to me? But anyway, okay, yeah, Yahweh. I mean, I will say this. All the women in the Ambrosio family are beautiful. I'm smitten. Well, externally beautiful. I can't tell about their inside yet, because something, again, it seems like it could go either way. They could either be my best friends, or we're literally family, or they could be like the enemies of all mankind and be like trying to steal away my reality from me and hurt me. It's something. I would suggest that pulling this into the public eye and like making there be some kind of engagement on it, I will get an answer. So, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, if I develop the powers
I think I had this when I was younger, but that something hit me and like stole it in a really fucked up and illegal and wrong way, and it might have been claiming it was the government or something, but it's like couldn't have been by the way it attacked me. Um, like it would not fly in public if it was found out that this is how they had to steal away the power. Uh, yeah, okay, I'm gonna suggest the lightning stuff kicking up as I'm talking about it. Like, I don't think it's illegal to assassinate American citizens, and if they like assassinated me as a 4-year-old or something, like, I mean, using this like whatever martial strike that's like rotted me internally and has tortured me since my childhood, yeah, that would be a really big fuck up. So whoever did that, like, you couldn't claim that you're the government because it's hurting people. Also, it's like, well, if I'm allowed to actually have the things like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and stuff like that, then this strike on me is not giving me that. It's like the opposite of that. It's like pain, death, and the like wallowing of sorrows or something like. Anyway, wallowing in sadness. By the way, what I think I'm gonna do with this is like between the two periods, I'm just gonna do the time lapse, and then whenever I can sync them up, that they are like resync them, I'll do it like that. So this will just probably be one video, probably. Um. I'm gonna try that thing where I like look over to where, like, this was how the last video went, is like where I looked and then did a thing is where the lightning happened, and that happened a couple times. So, but again, I think that this is just okay, if I'm connected to the weather in any degree and I'm being fucked with, and you see the weather going crazy over certain places that seem to be connected to what's going on with me, that would be a very good indicator that, hey, something's fucking with me. Like, with the situation with Alessandra and Anja Ambrosio and, Align Ambrosio and, Alessandra and Anja and Align Ambrosio Wilkins. Lucilda and Alessandra and Align, no, Lucilda and Align and Alessandra and Anja Ambrosio dash Wilkins. Hyphen Wilkins. Lucilda, Align, Alessandra, and Anja Ambrosio Wilkins. Are they my wives? Are they my dogs? At least Alessandra and Anja? Can I just own the whole Ambrosio family? Make them all the Ambrosio Wilkins family? And our families merge? Around me, not around some evil shit that's happened without my permission, without my trying to fuck with me and disempower me. No, but around me being like, yay, and around them being yay. I'm not gonna force. The only reason I'm like forcing this out in the open now is clearly I'm being fucked with in a way I shouldn't be. I need some public accountability because I want it to stop, because I've been just on top of like it's distressing and like difficult to go through. Something's taking my money. Like in every instance that I'm trying to do, like, it is legal to do crypto investment. Something very obviously to me has targeted me and is willing to like crash an entire, I think the BitGrail thing happened specifically in order to attack at me and just make it plausibly deniable that it's connected, by taking down, basically by fucking up the whole exchange. It's like, plausibly deniable. In the same way, and the dude's name is Bomber, so it's like he just basically suicide bombed my reality in order to, like, I don't know, for some kind of, to continue this game. In the same way, it seems like the situation with Opacity, like, I really feel like someone paid that dude off, like the developer, Jason Coppola, in order to get him to, like, essentially rug pull the thing, because it doesn't logic out to me, because it's a project that could have made a whole bunch of money and can still. I think he's just sitting on it so that people couldn't actually do it, because that's what he's been paid to do or something, which is like, yo, you've stolen a bunch of money from me and my family. This is an issue. Like, actually. And somehow the government's watching and hasn't stepped in or something. Like, yo, the SEC gets on people for way less than that. Why is he not being looked at for fraud? When I know people are watching this. Can't allow targeted rug pulls. Or targeted exchange hacks or whatever. Like, it's not okay. Oh, God. Also, again, I think it is really good evidence that if consistently over time you see a connection with the weather you don't see with anybody else, like in the lightning and whatever, I think the lightning is a good indicator of, like, probably just connected with the other stuff. It's something that can instantaneously be, like, shown. Like, the storm coming overhead, okay. Like, it's a broad area thing. But the lightning thing is, like, there's an immediate reaction to something I'm doing. It's a suggestion that the rest of the weather stuff is connected as well. And it's not particularly me saying that, hey, it's Matthew Ray Wilkins. Again, I do think some of it is just me as a person has, like, some abilities that other people don't have. But I think the actual everything else is because of Yahweh, and he controls it all. Like, I think the whole idea of the Monkey King is like, oh, the Monkey King has, like, it's like the IP knockoff thing, but oh, he has, like, minor weather manipulation abilities. It's like, well, that might as well be Matt Wilkins, but Yahweh has total control over all of it. Everything. All of it. So, so trying to call me the Monkey King or Yahweh the Monkey King, it ends up just being like, well, probably Matt Wilkins fits that in the capacity of him after being attacked by whatever has attacked me, but in, like, being on the throne of Yahweh and just the spirit of Yahweh overall has power over all this. Like, that's not even a question in my mind.
If something happens, it's electric feet.
I'm just leaving it on the radar for a moment because that'll make it easier to sync up. Actually, maybe I'll leave this for the end. I'm about to end the video. I've also decided this is going to be a separate Lightning Lab. This is Lightning Lab 21. It's no longer Lightning Lab 20. It's just a lot easier to put these together if they're shorter, so, and they're more manageable that way, and they upload faster. So that's what I'm going to do. Ooh, oh my god, hurts. But I'm really getting deep in, and I do feel like it's improving a lot. Like, I know I've been saying that for like a year now, but it is in a different place than it was a year ago for sure, and in a better place. And like, I feel like part of me is like, is when I get my dogs, when my leg is fixed, when Alessandra and Andra and Brodo, my doggies, when I finally get to play with them, I'll actually not be crippled anymore, or like gimped because of this. That'd be great. I think. Unless, again, something evil has happened with Alessandra, or Andra, or both of them. I don't know. I feel like I've said the gamut. I've like already run the gamut or said everything or close to everything that it could possibly be if they've been used in some really heinous way to hurt me, or like as a honeypot trap or VR honeypot trap or something. I mean, I guess it the general idea is they're either being used against me in some kind of really messed up way to disempower me, and it's like a disturbing way, which that's the whole point. It's meant to disturb, but probably in the light of day, it wouldn't stand like whatever it is would be dismantled, or it would be the 1260 days from, like, I guess some other place in the world could be giving, like Brazil or something, could be giving them sovereign, like some kind of immunity or diplomatic immunity to strike out and attack at me. But if that's the case and it's like killing people, there would be the point that Yahweh is like, nope, I'm gonna end this by that's what kind of this stuff, the 1260 days in Revelation or whatever is about. But we'll see. I don't think it's nothing. Same thing with Align Ambrosio Wilkins at this point. It's like, I don't think it's nothing. Does one of the Ambrosios live in Dallas too? Like, is this something from UT Dallas? Or, like, it feels like something has been trying to suggest, like, are people that I know in real life being used in, like, ways to see if I can tell if they're having kids in secret or some kind of weird bullshit like that? And it's like, yo, I think this is like a cancer on humanity, and it's literally causing catastrophe and destruction because it's a really rapey, disempowering, like on purpose, disempowering, abusive fucking thing to do to someone. Or again, even though this is more preferred than a lot of the other things, is like, did someone steal my semen and like, is Noah Ambrosio my son? Like, I mean, like, or what is up with that situation? Because there's some weird shit going on there. It's like one of Alessandra's friends and not the guy that she, not Jamie Mazur, or it's like, some king or something somewhere, or it's like some, some gangster or some celebrity or something, like, it's something disempowering. I don't, or I guess it could just be the thing on the face of it that it is, but it's like someone that I know in person. Like I said, I was saying this in the OBS view after I finished the previous video up, but is it my dad? Is it my one of my grandpas? Like, I don't, this would have been going on for a while if it was one of them, because they've been dead for a while. But is it my dad? I mean, he's downstairs, so that one's still possible. Is it is it someone from around here? Is it someone like I went to school with? Is it someone like oh, hey, lightning when I said that. So maybe it's someone that I went to school with. And it seems really rapey and evil to me. Something really rapey and evil feels like it's going on, and like clearly my spidey senses are going off, right? If people want to joke that I'm fucking Spider-Man. Okay. Well, Spider-Man is even going to beat your ass, which is even more embarrassing. If I end up being Spider-Man and beating your ass, I don't even have to be Yahweh on the throne to beat Satan's ass. I can just be fucking actual Spider-Man. And, I got bit by a spy. Durr, man. I think I said that already like 8 years ago or 6 or 7 years ago or something, but there's someone I went to school with that is also from this neighborhood. I mean, that's not an impossibility too. Or is it me? I mean, I went to school with me. Again, all these things are like, there's something weird's going on. Same thing with Align. Did Align do that too? I mean, like, that would definitely show, like, yeah, this is really fucked up. But hey, mom's home. Mommy's home. 2. Do I secretly have a kid with Align also? Like, it's like, did they take my semen and like impregnate both the Ambrosio sisters, and they are the Ambrosio Wilkins, and it's just like a secret? Like, again, I feel like someone I went to school with would be like very disempowering. Someone I worked with, someone like, A homeless person, like it's an orgy. Like I put all this in my story in pictures, but a random fan. You know what I mean? Am I the random fan? That's what I keep like. It always was like it's like the best case scenario is again Noah's my son. Normal case scenario, Jamie Mazur. Bad case scenario, most other people, like, I guess worst case scenario, Noah's my brother or something, half brother. Still not, none of these things are things that I, like, is that worst case scenario? I don't know. Like, I'm just like, at this point, I just want this shit over. So whatever kind of, like, all right, can we just end this shit? Like, best case scenario, again, is my son? What? I mean, I could guess. He probably could have stolen my semen a long time ago. I actually had that thought a long time ago that maybe that could be something that happens, so... UPS just drove by and their thing, or USPS just drove by and their thing is always we deliver for you, so maybe that's what happened. Is this the Captain America shield where it's like America's helping me out with this one? Seems like it, because every time I bring up Alessandro and Andrea Ambrosio, some dogs walk in the picture or something. Someone's walking their dogs into the picture. Are they my dogs? Hopefully. That's the hope. I mean, I'm laughing. It's not comfortable, but, like, I mean, it's getting... This is how I'd have to do... Okay, well, at least the lightning stuff's still going on. It looked pretty cool. It's not comfortable, but, like, at least if I make it, like, humorous, it makes it a little easier to deal with. 1-346-512-4679. It says spam risk, so I'm gonna not answer it. But I mean, the fact that they're Brazilian would mean that if they did do this kind of attack, right, that Alessandra and Andrea, like, her family's Brazilian, I guess Andrea's American, but maybe. But they could be Russian spies or some shit for all I know. I can tell that, like, okay, they, them being from Brazil, it's like, wouldn't that constitute, like, some kind of foreign attack on someone here in America if I can prove this out? And along with the Stephanie Houston thing seems to also have been that, along with other, like, that things from other places are attacking me in a way that you should not attack people. Like, I don't think you should be attacking people at all, has been my point. Like, it's not like I agree with what's going on in Israel and Gaza. I just think that the Israelis have the better claim, and I think the Gazans are Arabs claiming to be Palestinians, the ancient enemy of the Israeli people. Like, actually, that's the Philistines. That's why in Arabic they're the Philistini, because it's the same word, because it's the same people, because they're just trying to pretend to be the ancient enemies of the Israeli people, because, they're taught to hate Jews. That's just what it is. Muslims are taught to hate Jews. You can't get around it. So, and like I've been saying for years, 100% the Jews could actually deal with this by using the name Yahweh, but they don't want to because they've been lied to by the rabbis. I mean, the rabbis that are telling them, hey, don't, don't use the name. It's inappropriate. It's like, well, that's a great way for Satan to remove the name of the actual God from the Bible. But, in reality, you should be using the name Yahweh or Yah. Some name for the deity that is the God of Israel that has a name. You should at least attempt to pronounce it. Like, even in the Bible, when Yahweh walks before Moses, he's like, I'll pronounce the name. Well, I'm sure there was some question as to how you'd pronounce it then. So hearing Yahweh actually say it, would clear things up, right? So at least Moses heard it correctly. Alright, I'm getting deep in on the stretch here. I'm surprised the conditions are still in the area. I feel like we're, based on what I saw, it's not like there's that much more left. Maybe this video would be an hour and a half at the most, but I just don't expect it to be much longer than that. I hear Alessandra and Anja possibly. I guess more, for sure Anja, because she is definitely dogging it up, but which thanks for indulging me. I mean, to that degree, I enjoy the attention. I enjoy I guess I enjoy who the attention's from. I can't tell yet, but on the face of things, yeah, on the surface level, yeah, sure. I just don't like there's not direct communication, and there's not, like, I'm not getting answers to, like, what kind of fucked up situation has happened that this is going on, and I can't get people to just engage, like, yo, I'm pretty sure I'm showing superpowers or spiritual powers or something here, and, like, it's definitely happening. You guys should probably be engaging what I'm saying. The longer you don't, the more people are getting hurt and the more destruction is happening, but, you know, it's not that I want the destruction, like I'm saying. I want a resolution to this, and I think it's because something's trying to steal away reality from Yahweh, and then I'm the person who's, like, most manifesting, like, putting my foot down to stop that. But, like, I can't physically put my foot down, or, like, I tried to and some kind of snake bit it, and that's what this thing is, the strike on the thigh. But, like, as I'm forcing it out in the open, it's like the antidote or something. Or, like, as people are working, like, I do think more and more people are probably either, like, I think sides are being formed. So there's going to very obviously be a side of Yahweh and a side of not Yahweh, or a side of Jesus, you know what I mean, a Christian side. And then at some point, that's the 1260 days. It's like something wants to go with some kind of beast empire, and said, like, a bunch of people are tricked into believing some kind of beast empire, or some kind of venomous snake empire instead of the Yahweh. I guess another thought that I had is it like corrupt police officers or something? Like, I said the government earlier. Is it like some kind of, like, there's just some high level corruption in the police or in some kind of intelligence agencies or something that, something? Seems like some of their secret societies or something. I don't have to get super conspiratorial to be like, okay, some people are messing with me. It feels like some kind of cult's messing with me. I think it's obvious there's some form of gang stalking going on that's undeniable. It's just what it is. Like, what is it? You know what I mean? And, I figure to get around the whole, like, conspiracy theorist thing, it's like, okay, it's happening. Well, what is it? I think it's the group from Revelation 2 and 3. Specifically the first church, second, third, fourth church stuff. It's a group called the Nicolaitans, which seem to be a group of elites or a group of people that are selling out the people in order to, like, for monetary gain, for short-term benefits for bullshit, and just for whatever reason. I'd say for money. That's probably just the best. Money, fame, power. Like, when I look at celebrities, it's like, yo, y'all could actually fix the world. You don't. Taylor Swift flies, like, you know, wants to be condescending to people about your average person about, like, CO2 emissions and, like, being an environmentalist and stuff, because it's just, like, a way that they can put up a shield or something. But then she flies around on a jet, takes, like, a 10-minute trip on a jet that nullifies all of her fans or all the people that she's trying to make feel bad, like, all their carbon emissions. So it's like, you know, that kind of thing is just like, stop with the hypocritical bullshit. All these celebrities are like, feel like a cancer on fucking society. Like, actually, is that what's going on? It's just that these people are like wielding their influence in really stupid fucking ways, which is causing problems. I mean, that's obvious to me, but it's like, you know, I guess, is it more, is that more on the head than what I'm, like, the nail on the head than what I'm thinking already? Or I do feel like there's something is using the cult of celebrities. At the same time, they're here in America, and it's like, you, like, whatever you have now that's working out, what you're causing is literally going to fuck up for yourself and everybody else. It's literally causing it's making a reality where, like, whatever benefit you have now, it's not going to exist anyway, because the place that you're fucking, like, creating for something that's just using you. So, I mean, congrats on that, but I'm going to end that shit, because that's toxic. Well, I think Yahweh's going to end that shit, and I'm just going to be the person that Yahweh uses to do it. It does not matter how good the music you're making is. I think, first of all, the mixes that I put together, I mean, I'm just like, it's like, I'm making sense of a bunch of people's art anyway. But at the same, and these are people, like, most of those artists are, like, not, they might be used in some way, some of them might be, but they're just seem more like regular people, whereas, like, the celebrities that I'm talking about don't seem more like regular people. So I don't know what's going on. I need some answers, some reasonable answers. And, I think it's hurting people that I'm not getting them. So, it's not my desire, like I said, but I want this over. It's hurting me that this is not ending. Like, physically, I think that's what you can literally even see in my foot, like, the strike thing that I'm talking about. I don't think it's just some kind of, like, something that I was born with or something. Because you can see when I was, like, a baby, like 1 or 2, I didn't have these issues in my eyes that I can tell. It was only when I get to, like, where I'm walking around that, like, I can see on my face, like, oh, my right eye's shut down, so something must have struck out at my right hand when in, like, the early 90s. That's my guess. And, like, figured out this system of, like, cutting me off at a relationship. Then it makes me really unpleasant, so when I try to, like, reach out for a relationship, it's like anybody who would be connected to me is like, it's just a difficult situation for them anyway, but I would be the person that they're connected to anyway, like some kind of magnet thing or something. And I do think some of the, as my right eye opens, that's what you're seeing with stuff. And I'm guessing whatever Jezebel woman would have tricked the women that, if I'm right about this, that they're having kids with, like, people I went to school with, or worthless celebrities or whatever the fuck, like, whoever they're having kids with, which meant to be disturbing and, like, disempowering and abusive and rapey and like a trap, or to just be those things, not like those things, it is those things, that that, like, my guess is it's one of these women that's gotten cancer. They're like, oh, hey, Olivia Munn, well, congrats, or Princess Kate or something. I mean, which, or does someone have cancer I don't know about? Come the fuck on. It's just like, it's laughable that people aren't engaging what I'm saying here. Like, to the news, you're killing people. To the news people here, that you're not engaging this. To all those meteorologists that I reached out to, and very clearly me having lightning powers is like on display, or spiritual powers that are clearly connected to the weather and lightning. I mean, who are you bullshitting? You're not bullshitting me, you're not bullshitting Yahweh. It's killing humanity that you're not actually engaging this. People are actively getting cancer over it. There's active catastrophe happening. Like, I mean, that, again, the lightning stuff reinforces what I'm saying a lot of the time. So, I mean, I'm guessing Olivia Munn or Princess Kate, I mean, did they pay some woman which, for all intents and purposes, or trick some woman that, for all intents and purposes, is my wife and is literally connected to me, and they, like, raped me with my other half? Is that what happened? Because that's best guess, and, you know, I feel like the lightning stuff and me showing lightning power and earthquake and volcano stuff in connection with Yahweh, there's a reason. It's not just for no reason. You're a cancer on humanity. I mean, actually. You're a parasite. I hope this really caught it, because I know that camera is facing more in that direction, but I think you could see it. It looked like it went across the whole sky, so, I mean, that was crazy. I might have to, like, include the train videos. Like, I think I'm going to record, you know, what's going on with the trains and stuff, because one of those angles caught something for sure. The train cameras actually added different, like, multiple different directions, which I haven't been, I can't, these two cameras that Channel 13 has up don't connect or collect. Though I think, like, the Greater Houston Partnership or Downtown Houston or, like, the City of Houston should put up high-quality HD webcams which show off the city well. And, like, during storms. Hey, there you go. Good ideas that seemingly are reinforced by Yahweh. God. You know, we got some big mega churches. Okay. I can see the fucking crazy lightning on the other camera, man. That one's only 720. So, like, it'd be great to see it in 4K. The year 2024, every camera is like, every phone has a 4K camera at this point. There should be no reason to not have 4K streams up. Appreciate the streams at all, but let's get, you know, the train cameras make my point. Like, okay, if these cameras are, if these cameras are actively considerably better and they're just like random train cameras, like, can we get, like I'm saying, the City of Houston, that way it's public and it doesn't have to be connected to, like, I don't have to have Channel 13's logo on the thing, which I don't hate Channel 13, I don't hate Channel 11, I don't hate Channel 2, I don't hate Channel 26, I don't hate Channel Telemundo or Univision or PBS or whatever. I try not to hate these things. What I hate is that something's fucking attacking me and I can't get people to engage it. It seems really evil and rapey. I hate that. But, and that it's using someone that, I mean, maybe it's not Alessandra Ambrosio that it's used. Maybe it's someone else, and, like, Alessandra's my gift for, like, going through this. That'd be great. Could that be the thing? Fingers crossed, Alessandra and Audra, my dogs. Something better compensate me for going through. I think my whole point is Yahweh is going to compensate me, and I get to be on the throne, Yahweh's throne and Jesus' throne, but the throne of the house of David, which is the throne of the Most High, which Yahweh is the Most High. So it's the throne of Yahweh. Logic. But also Jesus is Yahweh, so it's just the throne of Yahweh. I hope the GoPro's still on. God damn, this hurts. I'm like torquing into this. Torque. T-O-R-Q-E. Torque. Torquing, not twerking, like T-W-E-R-K, but torquing into my a leg muscle, and it's like, or into whatever's going on with this issue, and trying to like you could definitely see that. I don't know if you could catch the whole thing on this camera, but you would absolutely see that. And as I'm explaining, I'm like torquing deep into whatever this issue is. I'm hitting some kind of wall, and that's what I'm saying. I think it's preventing. It's like trying to cut me off in an illegal, abusive, immoral, fucked up way. It's trying to prevent me from having what is inherently like the right side of my body, because it's connected to power. I think that's why Jesus sitting at the right hand, something is giving me that back. I'm guessing it has to do with something took a son from me. Or something. Or like something's trying to like prevent Jesus from existing, so if it could trick a bunch of people into thinking Jesus didn't exist, it might be able to steal away reality. But if I just prove it out over a long enough time, and that all these other religions are just bullshit, and that Jesus is actually a real person who did go through the things that he went through, and then died and resurrected, that he does have power over life and death, and I would get that, and then, you know, end this stupid fucking game that's going on around me. And like go into a kingdom of heaven where nobody dies anymore. That sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah, it does, actually. Better than anything I've heard otherwise. I could be the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and I get my dogs Alessandra and Anda and Brojo. Yay! I really want my dogs. Or, you know, I really want this issue to be engaged in some reasonable way, but, you know, them being my dogs would be awesome. I mean, actually, I love it, so. Oh my gosh. Oh, this hurts. Let me go confirm the GoPro's real on. It's on still. Really grateful. And look at the radar. Yep. Okay, so here's where we are right now. Definitely still some lightning left, so we'll just keep going. Hey, what's over Iota? Jennings and Lake Arthur and Crowley, and there's tornado warnings. Radar indicated. Server
definitely been a lot of tornadoes here recently. Really destructive, spinny boys, right? GoPro's still going too, so.
Probably if we're gonna see lightning, I think it is gonna be in that direction. So definitely hope this caught. Yeah, I think it did. It's not like it can go much more to the that side. I suppose the thing that have been most triggering for the lightning today has just been talking also. It's reinforcing points. It's not really, I'm triggering it with muscle things. It doesn't feel like. So. Always just using it to reinforce the points. Which is like I'm saying, I don't need a bunch of instances of like, hey, every time I move there's lightning. It definitely the idea of like, hey, the weather seems to be reacting to me when I'm ahead of the weather as far as what's going on by like weeks. I'm saying that something is messing with me out of Brazil, specifically Alessandra Ambrosio, Aline Ambrosio, Lucilda Ambrosio, the Ambrosio Wilkins family. Do I own their family? Are we friends? Or are we merging families? We're just going to hyphenate everybody's name. But, something has happened. It feels like. Else, again, maybe their compensation for whatever I've gone through. Could be that, which would be great. But I'd much rather Alessandra and Anja be my dogs and the Ambrosio, and, me own the Ambrosio family and them be my friends. Me be their friends. And, I'd much rather that than be enemies. I can have enemies. I'm fine with having enemies. I just, don't want it to be the people I like. Which is kind of the whole point of, the disempowering thing. If some woman tricked, if one of these women that has gotten sick recently has tricked women that are, literally otherwise my partner or wife or, in the least, my friends, and they've tricked them into doing something that makes them, it, physically cripples me because they're a part of me, that would be why at least one of these Jezebel women is getting cancer, that their children are going to die, and that, it's going to kick off the events from the book of Revelation, because that is such a fucked up situation, and, there needs to be someone with the authority to engage this, and it doesn't look like anything has the authority. I mean, there are things that have just authority. It's does it have a reasonable reason to have authority to engage something like this? No. This is why, the Bible, I think. Or, this is what the 7 churches of Revelation stuff is about, and it's about putting me in a position to have the authority to deal with something like this. Be King of Kings, Lord of Lords. That's what I'm assuming. I mean, did they trick some sovereign or prince or king or some kind of royal person, or like they use some kind of royal person or sovereign against me in a really fucked up way, and it's like, okay, well then I'll just be King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You'll be in a burning lake forever, and I'll be like, everything will be all right for me, even if it hurts in the moment. What does it talk about? The temporary pain or suffering isn't like gonna be, doesn't even come close to the glory of like what we're gonna get when Jesus Christ appears, right? And so when I get my right hand, I mean, the glory of that is probably like, oh, I get to be Yahweh on the throne. Yeah, that's okay. There's a bunch of glory in that. Cool. And I've dealt with an issue that nobody would want to go through this. I don't think anybody would want to go through this. I mean, actually, and if you do want to go through this, then there's something you don't want to go through that probably would be the equivalent, right? And so putting me through something that's causing that for me is like, you can understand that it's painful and distressing. Maybe. Hopefully. And like, I don't think people have to go, like, I think we can literally be at the point where there's more than enough resources, people don't die anymore, nobody cries anymore because there's really no issues. We party into eternity. It is a kingdom of heaven, literally. Everybody who was stopping that is just gone in burning torture forever. They're getting what they deserve. And then we're, hell itself is literally thrown into the burning lake. Something worse, it's thrown into the second death. The first death is thrown into the second death, and then we party into eternity. And, it's kingdom of heaven. Kingdom of God. Yahweh. Yah. That's why you rave over Yah. Hallelujah. Okay, I'm thinking that, there could be some more lightning here in the next whatever. I'll end this at 1:10, so that's like 3 more minutes. I don't really think there's much more rain overhead. I am going to continue the GoPro recording and just catch the whole, try to get a whole long-term time-lapse of basically the whole storms of the day. Maybe it'll even catch a little of the sunset. But, I think this is the video. I think I actually will go over and timestamp this one because there's definitely been some crazy lightning, especially here at the end. So, seems like this is a reasonable one to do that with. Anything else? You got anything else in the next minute and 45 seconds, Yahweh? Yeah. Yo. And kind of my point is, I don't think Yahweh has to show shit for the sake of showing shit. It's the whole, I'm not trying to test Yahweh is my point. I think that's also why Yahweh actually works with me. Is my intention is not to test Yahweh. My intention is this hurts and I need something to protect me and help me, and that seems to be Yahweh and not the government. So if the government wants to actually help with that, that would be great. If the if the news wants to help with that, that'd be great. If these artists that are are you attacking me? Why? You're not gonna exist. This stuff. What I'm saying with the Islam stuff is you're not gonna exist there. They think music's from Satan, man. They don't fucking want you. They're only gonna lie to you. So I want to party and rave into eternity. So yeah, okay. Yahweh is all about festivals. That's why the Jews throw a bunch of festivals. Yahweh is all about it. There just has to be some order to the chaos, and it can't hurt people. But okay, pretty much gonna end it here. I guess we'll see what happens. It does look like there are some strong points made in this. So, all right, have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. If I don't cover something that it actually is, I know that it's something. There's something going on. That's what I found. That's what I figured. So, okay. Have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. Later. Yeah.